Welcome to the Homeownership Podcast presented by Momentum Realty, located in Hanover, Massachusetts. This series covers all things real estate and the best practices for buying, selling, and owning properties. Now here's your host, Sean Maloney.
Welcome to episode 195. Should I paint before selling? I'm your host, Sean Patrick Maloney. Thanks for joining me today. Today I want to talk to you about when you're selling your home, should you paint or should you wait? Is it worth it to spend the money, time, energy, effort? Or is it worth it just selling it as it is so that the next person can do what they want with it? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. The answer is not just cut and dry. It's not just yes or no. It really depends on the situation. This is one of those times where I'm going to really refer you to a professional and I say to you, my honest opinion is to talk with your real estate agent and have them advise you on whether it's worth it or not, because the economics of it need to work. Also remember that painting, even though it is personalized when you're going to live there for a long while, should only be semi-personalized if you plan on selling the place in the near future or plan on painting again. That way there it is the most saleable it could possibly be. One of the things when people ask us about painting and not really is, what is the current condition of the paint? How saleable are the colors that are there? And what's the condition of the market at the time? Because say, for instance, if the market's hot and sellers are getting everything they want and then some, why even bother painting when someone's going to give you too much money already as it is because they're trying to bid the property over other buyers? Versus when the market starts to slow down, things start to change, you need your property to stick out. Having that freshly painted place, remember, this is America, folks, right? We have low down payments, which allow people to buy in with very little cash flow. So by having a house that's recently updated, painted, things like this finances it into the cost of the home, which allows the buyers to get a freshly painted home. So these things really shine when times start to get not as easy to sell homes. Not saying that necessarily that's right on every single occasion, because those are just general rules. But sometimes it's worth painting just because of the type of color that was there. Sometimes it's worth painting because of the condition of the paint. Other times it's worth painting to allow people to get financing. That's why it's such a huge thing to talk to a real estate agent and professional, because you really want to know, what am I trying to do? Because with FHA, VA loans, say, you might have a situation where if you don't paint, you have peeling and chipping paint, you might end up in a situation where no one can get a loan on that property. So we might have to decide to do this ahead of time. Now, when I say nobody carrying that loan, and depending on the times and where you're located, that might be the only people actually interested in your home, which could lead you to needing to take care of that. Like I say each time I've gone through this in circles here on this podcast, the professional is the person, because even though painting is easy, it's very time consuming. Or if it was to be paid for, it's very financially consuming, because the amount of time it takes someone to properly paint a home means it costs a decent amount of money if you were to pay somebody. That's why before making the time or financial investment, checking in really can help you so you don't end up in a situation. Remember too, when painting, it's important to remember the painting really isn't for you. It's for the buyers. So going and getting yourself some high-end design magazines, going and stopping by your local Benjamin Moore or any other professional series paint, Sherwin-Williams, a lot of the different branded paints will have local stores. You can stop in and see what are the top sellers, where are the trends going. You can talk most often with even a designer that they have on staff. They can sometimes even show you on a computer program. You can grab it online, take a picture, change colors of the walls, see what it'll look like. You can do paint guns now where you can take a chip and find out the color. So they can be really creative for you, and they can help out a lot with the process of really planning it out. But, the reality is you don't want to get carried away with how you'd like it. You want to think more towards those buyers, because the more people that like your property, the more people that will write offers, and the more that you'll end up earning because of that competitiveness. There's all sorts of ways to use paint to accentuate things, everything from cabinets to floors to wall covering. So paint is a great tool in real estate. but it must be used right, and also it must always be done professionally. To paint sloppy, to paint not by prep work, or to paint peeling, to paint all these bad ways, it's really like you were better off to not start, not do it at all. Paint one layer on top of a dark color, let it see through. It can seem like you're hiding things. There's so many things that paint can do bad if not advised right. Again, reach out to somebody that can help you out. Over here at Momentum Realty, we're always training our agents all about things, everything from painting to landscaping, and why you should maintain it and how you can maintain it in order to get the maximum value for your home when selling it. Because let's be honest, folks, we're all listening to this podcast for one reason. We're trying to figure out how to maximize our return on investment and how to earn the most money when selling our home. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. If you haven't already done so, please make sure to subscribe. Tell all your friends and family about the podcast. Also have them subscribe. And I look forward to talking to you next week.